liver is asked in mainly practicals. Theory question can come, but long question on liver has not come till that. Liver is mainly a practical topic. So see, first thing, like in any other organ, how to hold the liver in anatomical position. So see, mark this tubular structure embedded in the liver. See, this is the inferior vena cava. Okay, this is the inferior vena cava, and see the liver is roughly like a wedge, having a broad part and a narrow part. Okay. So how to hold the liver in position? Hold the liver in such a way that this tubular inferior vena cava is posterior and vertical. So the inferior vena cava, this one should be posterior and vertical. Okay. And the broad base of the wedge is towards your right and the narrow apex is towards the left. So that on the upper surface or on the upper part, the relation is convex, concave, convex. You come from either side, convex, concave, convex. So this is the actual position of the liver, and always hold it more towards the right side, because liver is mostly present on the right side. Some part of it also extends to left. Okay. Now the next thing is, what are the parts of the liver? Parts of the liver are surfaces and borders. So let us see the surfaces first. Just hold the liver in position. See, this surface faces up. So this is superior surface. This surface faces towards the front. This is anterior surface. This surface faces towards right and lateral side. This is right lateral surface. This surface faces towards back, posterior surface, and this surface. So this surface faces below. So it is inferior surface, or else known as visceral surface. So what are surfaces? Superior, anterior, right lateral, posterior, inferior, or visceral. Now coming to the borders. Borders are three: posterior superior, posterior inferior, and inferior. Posterior superior border is so called because it is present between the superior surface and posterior surface. This is superior surface, this is posterior surface. So this border, see where I am marking, this border is the posterior superior border. Similarly, posterior inferior border is so called because it intervenes between the posterior surface and inferior surface. This is the posterior surface, this is inferior surface. So this border is posterior inferior border. Okay, and see the very sharp border below is the inferior border. As you can see, the inferior border is separating the anterior surface and right lateral surface from the inferior surface. See, this is the inferior border, very sharp, sharpest border of all three borders of liver, and this separates the anterior surface and the right lateral surface from the inferior surface. Okay, so this is the parts. What are the surfaces? What are the borders? Now let us see what are the relations of the different surfaces. See, if we take for prototype the superior surface, then just above that will be diaphragm. And what are the parts in diaphragm? In the center there is central tendon, on either side there is dome. So just above the central tendon is the heart covered by pericardium, and above either dome there will be lung of that side covered by pleura. Okay. Now coming to the anterior surface, on the right side will be right postal margin formed by the right lower lips. On the left side, left postal margin formed by left lower lips. In between the two will be Giffey sternum or Gifford process sternum. Then coming to right lateral surface, immediately we get the diaphragm. Okay. Then you get the ribs. Which ribs? 7 to 11. Between the diaphragm and the ribs, there is a space which can be divided in three parts: upper third, middle third, lower third. In upper third, you get both lungs and pleura. In the middle third, there is only pleura, no lungs. In the lower third, there is no pleura, no lungs. Okay, that is the relation of the right lateral surface. Now coming to the two important surfaces, this is posterior surface, where you get many important features. For the posterior surface, we start from the right and go to left. See, this triangular area is called the bare area of liver because it is without peritoneal covering. What they ask in the exam is what are the boundaries of this the bare area. Okay, see this triangular, the base is formed by the inferior vena cava. Okay. At the apex, there is a ligament known as right triangular ligament that extends from the right lobe to the diaphragm above. In the upper part, there is superior layer of coronal ligament that is reflected from the liver to diaphragm. In the lower part, there is inferior layer of coronal ligament that is reflected from the liver to the kidney. Okay, this entraps the bare area of liver. To its left, on the posterior surface, we get the groove for inferior vena cava. Then this lobe is called caudate lobe. This lobe is called caudate lobe, and then there is a fissure. This fissure is for ligamentum venosum. This fissure is for ligamentum venosum. Even you can mark the ligamentum venosum here. See, like a very thin membrane is present. Okay, see this is the ligamentum venosum embedded in the fissure for ligamentum venosum. They usually ask, it is a remnant of which structure? Answer is ductus venosus. Ductus venosus consists as ligamentum venosum. Then this small area is for the lower part of esophagus. It is called esophageal impression. Okay, it is called esophageal impression. Now coming to the inferior surface. This large area is for stomach. Okay. Then this fissure is for ligamentum teres. It is called ligamentum teres hepatis because that is another ligament in femur. Total ligamentum teres femoris. This is a place for ligamentum teres hepatis, and this is a remnant of obliterated left umbilical vein. Okay. They usually ask ligamentum teres is a remnant of which structure? That is obliterated left umbilical vein. Then see this lobe is quadrate lobe. Okay. This is the fissure for ligamentum teres hepatis. To its right, this is called quadrate lobe. Okay, so see, this is the quadrate lobe. This was quadrate lobe. This is quadrate lobe. Relation wise, the quadrate lobe can be divided into three parts: upper, middle, lower. That is on the upper part related. There is lesser omentum. In the middle part, there is pyloric part of stomach and first part of duodenum. In the lower part, transverse colon. Okay. Then to its right, to the right of quadrate lobe, this shaft-like structure is gallbladder. That is embedded in a fossa. Okay. To its right, what you get? Here is the junction between first and second part of duodenum, and here is right colic fossa. See the symmetry. Here is esophagus. That is followed by the stomach. That is followed by, in the middle part of the quadrate lobe, by the pyloric part of stomach and first part of duodenum. Next to its right, here we get the junction between first and second part of duodenum. Why we only get the junction and the second part? Because second part is vertical. Okay. Then here was your transverse colon. Here is its continuation. Right colic fossa. Okay. Then see, this is the area for the right kidney, and above that area for right suprarenal or adrenal gland. Okay. Apart from that, mark this area very important. What I have proved with the forceps. Okay. See, this is called porta hepatis. This is called porta hepatis. They usually probe this area very commonly and ask what passes through it. Duct, artery, vein. Hepatic duct, hepatic artery, and portal vein. Okay, hepatic duct, hepatic artery, and portal vein. Don't call here the duct bile duct. That is not presented. The hepatic duct, hepatic artery, hepatic vein, and what relation from before backwards is duct, artery, vein. DAV. Okay, or anterior to posterior, duct, artery, vein, DAV. And see, this portion of the liver is called tuberomental. Okay, it faces towards the tuberomental of pancreas. Okay. Now another thing which can be tied here is this gallbladder. If they tie the gallbladder, they ask some side questions. First is what is its capacity or volume? That is 30 to 50 milliliters. Okay. Then what are the parts? See, this rounded part is called fundus. That is followed by the body, and here is the neck. So what are the parts of the gallbladder? Fundus, body, neck. See, anything cystic relates to gallbladder. Duct of gallbladder is the cystic duct. Its artery is called cystic artery. Its vein is called cystic vein. Okay. Then see over here. This is the neck of the gallbladder. That will be continuous as the cystic duct or duct of the gallbladder. So this finishes the relation of the different surfaces of the liver. Now we see what are the peritoneal folds attached to liver. See, they are called ligaments, and the ligaments can be true ligaments or false ligaments. True ligaments are remnants of embryonic structure, but the false ligaments are just folds of peritoneum. Okay. So the two true ligaments are these two: ligamentum venosum and ligamentum teres hepatis. These are the two true ligaments. What are the false ligaments? One is called your falciform ligament. See, you can find a membrane attached here to the superior surface and anterior surface of liver. This is called the falciform ligament. This is one of the false ligaments, and it extends from the liver to the diaphragm above and to the anteroabdominal wall in front. Okay, so on the liver, what is the attachment of falciform ligament? On the superior surface and on the anterior surface. What is the other end attached? Where the other end attached? Anteriorly to the abdominal wall, superiorly to the diaphragm. Okay. Then the next ligament is lesser omentum. You know, one end of the lesser omentum is attached to the lesser curvature of stomach and first few centimeters of duodenum. The other end is attached along here lips of porta hepatis and the fissure for ligamentum venosum, like a J. Some call it J, some call it L. Okay. Next thing is right triangular ligament that extends from the right lobe of the liver to the diaphragm. Next is left triangular. See, these remnants you see they represent left triangular ligament which connects the left lobe of the liver to the diaphragm. And then there is coronal ligament which has got two layers. Superior layer is reflected from the liver to diaphragm, inferior layer is reflected from the liver to the kidney. Okay, these are the false ligaments of the liver. Okay, now coming to the lobes of the liver. See, the lobes can be right and left lobe and quadrate lobe, quadrate lobe. There can be an inconstant lobe known as radial lobe that is attached to the, that is a tongue-like projection attached to the inferior border of liver on the right side. But that is not always present. You won't get radial lobe everywhere. Then see, there is one important thing here, that lobe can be either physiological lobe or anatomical lobe. So how to divide the liver into anatomical lobe? Join a line by make a line by joining the falciform ligament, ligamentum venosum and ligamentum teres hepatis. This is the demarcation between anatomical right lobe and anatomical left lobe. Then how to divide the liver into physiological right and left lobe? Join the fossa for gallbladder with the groove for inferior vena cava. That is called the cholecystosvena cava line. Okay, that divides the liver into physiological right lobe and physiological left lobe.
इसका मतलब physiological anatomical.
See, anatomical means it is see, if you join the three ligaments, so falciform, ligamentum venosum, ligamentum teres, you get the division of anatomical right and left lobe. Okay, but physiology has got everything to do with function. Anatomical right lobe are not the functional lobes. What happens, you see, for the hepatic duct, there is the right hepatic duct, there is the left hepatic duct. For the hepatic artery, right branch, left branch. For the portal vein, there is the right branch and left branch. So the right branch of all this structure is for the right physiological lobe, and the left branch for all this structure is for the left physiological lobe. So these are functional and more important, and this division of the duct, artery or vein into right and left is drawn on the basis of physiological lobe. Okay, that is of functional importance. And another thing what they ask if they put the liver in the practicals is what is the nutrition of liver. Remember, 66 to 75% is by the portal vein. Okay, and only 33 to 20%, sorry, I mean 66 to 75 by the portal vein and 25 to 33% by the hepatic arteries. Okay. So main source of nutrition is the portal vein. And what they can ask in the liver in the practical, very commonly proved structure is this one, porta hepatis, and they ask what passes through it. Or they can try the gallbladder and ask, oh, what is its capacity, what are the parts, or what is the artery, vein and duct for. Apart from that, they may prove the quadrate lobe or the quadrate lobe. They may tie the ligamentum venosum here or ligamentum teres here and ask the remnant of which structure. Or they can prove any impression, okay, and ask what is related here. So this is the practical. Rest is theory that will cover together. So I'll call the remaining students, please.